Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, we are going to be breaking into Special Cargo in Grand Theft Auto Online. Special Cargo is a great business for a beginner that wants to start off by having a small warehouse, or a very experienced player that wants to make a lot of money by filling up those large 111 crate warehouses to make the maximum profit. In today's video, we're not only going to be talking about the amount of money you need to spend to get all of these warehouses set up, but we're also going to be talking about, in my opinion, the most important thing: is Special Cargo actually an effective business? Like, yeah, you fill up your large warehouse, and if you complete the sale mission correctly, you get to see big Oonga Boonga number at the end of your screen. But what does that number actually mean to the amount of time you've put into the business? Well, that's everything we're going to be breaking into for today's video. So make sure you stay tuned, and let's get straight into it. Starting off with your Special Cargo business, you need to get your hands on an office building, which is mandatory, and then after getting your hands on an office building, you need to make your way to the computer, select Special Cargo, and purchase yourself a warehouse. Now you have three warehouse options. You have small, medium, and large. When it comes to small warehouses, there are only 6 on the map. And yeah, that's about it. I would never suggest to buy small warehouses. Unless you're a brand new player and you really want to do Special Cargo as your first business, I really wouldn't suggest to do it. They're not bad and they can make some money, and it is still passive if you use Lupe to grab your crates. But apart from that, it's really not the best method, especially because the more crates you put in your warehouse, the more money you're making out of the crates as well. So that's something that's also very important. So I would suggest to stay away from small. Same for medium. Again, they're not bad if you're a new player. That's what I did, in fact, on my Broke to Millions account, is I started off buying a small warehouse, then upgraded to a medium, and then upgraded to a large. And it was pretty quick to do that, but overall, we're going to be sticking towards large warehouses in today's video because that's where you're going to make the maximum amount of money. So, the large warehouses we're going to be taking a look at are the exact ones I own on my Broke to Billions account. These are all in a strip straight down the main road from each other, and then the one is a little bit further away, but still pretty close. The first one we're taking a look at is Darnell Bros Warehouse. This warehouse is $3.5 million to purchase. That is incredibly expensive. After Darnell Bros, we have the Logistics Depot, $2.6 million. After that, we have Wholesale Furniture at $1.9 million, not too bad of a price. We have Cypress Warehouses at $3.265 million. And finishing off, we have Walker and Sons Warehouse at $3,040,000. So, very simply, I'm going to add all of these numbers up really quick. I'm going to get up my calculator, and then I'm going to subtract 30% off of the total cost. You might be asking why I'm going to subtract 30%, and that is because if you're smart with your purchases on large warehouses, you're going to purchase them when they are on sale. If you're not purchasing them when they're not on sale, yeah, they're going to be $14,305,000 to get all those large warehouses I just listed. And yeah, that's not an exaggeration. It is $14 million to get your hands on 5 of the best locations for the large warehouses. But if you were to save 30% off of that purchase, it would actually be $10 million to get your hands on all these warehouses. That's still very expensive, but you are saving $4 million on your total purchase. So I would suggest to wait for these warehouses to go 30% off, which happens every month or so, I would say. And when that happens, then you can save at least a little bit of money compared to what you normally would be spending. Now that we've figured out the cost of these warehouses, we're going to figure out how much money Special Cargo can earn. After we figured out all these things, we can also figure out how much time it's going to take you to earn back the money that you've spent on these warehouses, but that's a little bit far ahead. Let's start off with how much money you can actually make with your 5 large crate warehouses now that you've purchased them. The way we're going to be finding this out is, thankfully, from a post that's already been made on Reddit by Kath Amick. Kath, I'm really bad at pronunciation when it comes to names. You can see it posted here. I'm also going to link this spreadsheet in the comments down below because this is an absolutely amazing spreadsheet that breaks into just about everything you would need to know about Special Cargo. It breaks into the average time it takes to source 1, 2, or 3 crates. It breaks into the profit per each of these crates with the time it takes. It breaks into just about everything you would ever need to know about Special Cargo and if it's actually a profitable business. Now, the way the times are calculated calculated for each of the different crate sources is actually wrong. And I didn't notice this at first, but I definitely need to cover this now because a lot of you eagle-eyed in the comment section would probably tear this part of the video apart. The person said that they're adding on a 2-minute flying period to get from where they are to their office building to start the next source. But obviously you don't need to have a 2-minute flying period because you can either do what I do, which is go into a new invite-only lobby and set your spawn location to the office building. That's going to save you a massive chunk of time. It's only going to be about 20 seconds. Or you can do what a lot of other people suggest, is to go right out of your office, or not your office, but out of your warehouse and walk into your Terabyte, which is also going to take like 20-30 seconds. Both of those are very viable options and very different, but they're not going to take 2 minutes. So I'm actually not going to add on the amount of time it takes at all for how you get back to your sourcing method. As well, this person also said there's a 3-minute wait period when factored into the sheet, because you have to wait 3 minutes before starting your next source because it took them 2 minutes to get there, and there's a 5-minute cooldown before you can start sourcing your next crates. Now that's not wrong for the data they're showing, because they're only showing one 111 crate warehouse. They're not showing 5. And obviously if you own 5, you just source one, and then while that cooldown's going on, you source the next crate warehouse, and while that cooldown's going on, you source the next crate warehouse. So essentially, we actually get to save a decent chunk of time here. We only need to calculate how much time it took them for each crate source. And we can see it is 8.23 minutes for 3 crates. For 2 crates, it is 7.11 minutes. And for 1 crate, it is 5.18 minutes. And that is without calculating any other factors I just went into. So that's actually pretty realistic. I can definitely say for about 3 crates, it probably checks out to be about 8.23 minutes on average. It says that this person took on average 20 missions to calculate this for each of the number of crates. So 20 missions for the 3 crates, 20 missions for the 2 crates, and 20 missions for the 1 crate. And you can see this yourself on the spreadsheet. But essentially, the way this works is that for 3 crates, we're just going to be calculating about 8.5 minutes. I know that I said 8.23, but the reason I'm going to do 8.5 minutes is because I still am going to add a slight amount of time it takes to go back and forth between your sourcing. So as I said, 8.5 minutes is the amount of time we're using for this calculation. So what we're going to do very simply is we're going to take the 111 crates you need to source, divide it by 3, which is going to give you 37 sources in total you need to do, and then multiply that by 8.23. That means it is going to take you 304 minutes to fill 1 large warehouse, but we also need to add on the other 5. So it's going to take you 1,522 minutes to fill 5 large warehouses. If we take that 1,522 and we divide it by 60, it is going to take you 25 hours to fill your large warehouses. 25 hours. Oh boy, that's a lot of time. Now that's a heck of a lot less time than the 46 hours this person calculated with their additional time they had to add in, but still, 25 hours is a lot of time. For example, we have calculated in past videos that you can make easily about $2 million an hour to $1.5 million an hour if you follow some of my simple money methods, like doing the Cayo Perico heist and then having your businesses running in the background and doing the Dr. Dre money method. If we calculate that you can make about $1.5 million on average an hour, right? We do that 1.5 million an hour, and then we multiply that by the 25 hours that you could have been making that money that you instead spent on special cargo. You could have made $37.5 million. Ooh, boy. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. That is a 12 million, actually a $13 million difference. A $13 million difference. That means if you decided to fill and manually source all of your special cargo, you have lost $13 million of profit you could have made if you had just done the Dr. Dre and Cayo Perico heist. Ooh, boy. Yeah, you want my honest opinion? Special cargo is not the most effective business out there. You're making, on average, with special cargo, just from the math we calculated, half of the money we're making hourly if we're doing just the Dr. Dre and Cayo Perico heist method, which means, yeah, you're actually making about $800,000, $750,000 an hour doing special cargo, which just about checks out. Yeah, that's a massive yikes. I know there's a lot of tryhards out there that really like doing special cargo, and there's a lot of people out there that, even after I post this video, are still going to try and come up with some BS excuse to why special cargo is worth the time or the money. I sell in public lobbies. even if you are selling in a public lobby for a 50% increased bonus on your sale mission, you are still making less money than you would if you did my method. And you have to risk in the factor that your stuff can be completely blown up. It's not worth it. It's really not. If you like doing special cargo, at the end of the day, this video is not telling you you can't do it. I can't force you to do what you do with your time. That's obvious, so don't get offended by it. This is just a video telling you what the numbers are. But at the same time, if you have been thinking and falsified into the belief that special cargo is the most efficient business when it's ×2 or 50% money, it's not. It just simply isn't. It is not even remotely worth your time if you're simply trying to make as much money as possible. Just to put into your mind how bad of a business special cargo is compared to the newer businesses, if you were to sell all 111 crate warehouses on a double money week, that means all your sale missions are worth double the profit, and you sold in a 50% extra bonus cash because you're in a public lobby with 21 plus people, you would only even out the amount of money that you can make doing Dr. Dre and the Cayo Perico heist with passive money making in the background. That shows you just how inefficient special cargo is. I do want to add that if you're using Lupe to source the crates for you, this business becomes much more profitable. So what I would suggest to do is just have Lupe in the background sourcing the crates for you while you're working on other businesses. That is the most efficient way to run special cargo. Simply put, it is a waste of time to do special cargo. It's an old and outdated business, and even though it can make decent money, it's still not nearly the amount of money you can make with other, newer, better money-making methods. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to add in also the amount of time it's going to take for you to break even with the amount of money you spent on the businesses to begin with. As I said, it's going to be about $10 million to purchase all these warehouses if you get them on sale. And oh boy, yeah, that means you're only going to be making about $3 million of profit on your first sale mission if it's a 50% week and all of your warehouses are completely full. Oh boy, yeah, never mind, you're not really going to be making any money for at least your first sale mission. It's going to be about 25 hours and you're going to profit $3 million. Oh my god, that is awful. For example, you can buy the Kosatka, I think it's for maybe like 2.2 million, something around there. And with just your first heist alone, with the bonuses you get, like your first time bonus and all the other things, you're literally going to break even just on your first heist. And that is also the exact same for the agency. If you buy the agency 30% off, which is only fair, because I've also calculated we buy all these crate warehouses 30% off, the agency on your first Dr. Dre mission will also net you way more than what it cost you to buy it. So essentially, what we just calculated as well is that you're going to have an additional like $20 million overhead with just your first 20 hours of missions done with the agency and the Cayo Perico heist rather than doing special cargo. Yeah, it's just pointless. I really do not see a reason that anybody should be doing special cargo in 2023. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.